darlings. Welcome to Tammy and Bert's Utopia. So it's after Easter and we've survived that, and it was just wonderful, as we knew it would be. But I've put my thinking crown on this morning, my beautiful tiara, and I'm going to do a different video this week. It's going to be about the weekly menu. So do you have a weekly menu? I'd just love to know. I love vintage living, and back in the 1950s and 40s, the ladies were so good with the food. Oh my gosh, they were marvellous. They could teach us all quite a bit. And my mum was very thrifty, as was my grandmother. And so picked up a few tips along the way, of course, as you do. But it's very easy to do it in the mind, but it's very hard to actually do it in principle, because I'm a very lazy cook. I don't like to cook like I used to. I used to love cooking. Oh, wonderful. No, I always now have lunchtime as my signal to organise what we will have for tea. And I try to get that started at lunchtime, you know, in some form, whether it's in the fridge or whether it's, you know, we know what we're having. So to do this, you have to have a menu, because who wants to come to that part of the day and you have to think about, what are we going to eat? Oh my gosh, have I got this? Do I have to run out for that? Do you know what I mean? You've got to be organised. And it's challenging to be organised, I tell you.
I have to add, though,
that our breakfasts are always the same. I have cereal with yogurt, and Bert has cereal, well, he mixes two cereals together with his milk, and that is our breakfast every single day. And Bert always has, you know, that air fryer, we've got one of those. Well, he has one of those, and he loves cooking his chips in that every night with tea. So I'm afraid he always has that every night, whereas I have vegetables. And sometimes I'll cook potatoes in foil and things. But that is like a standard, absolutely standard. And then every Friday we have a pie night. So we always have a pie of a Friday night. And of a Sunday night, Bert has a pizza night. So it's really only 5 nights a week that I have to provide teas for. So that's how I've got it down a little bit, because we get a bit tired, don't we? And sometimes we need to have that couple of nights off a week where you just pop something out of the freezer. And to be quite honest, I could do with another night as well. But anyway, small baby steps, baby steps. So Bert's home, so that's wonderful. He's just popped down to buy Kentucky Fried Chicken. You see, because he works with the boys, he does that. He can go and do that. But anyway, meanwhile, I'm working out the menu. So what you do first is you have a quick look around your pantry and your freezer and fridge, and you have a quick summarise as to what you've got in it. You know, we usually always have tin spaghetti and tin baked beans, packet soup, you know, just quick things that you can make a meal out of. And we always have eggs. I never run out of eggs. So you just make a list of what you've got. I also have ham in packets in the fridge, so Bert can have a toastie, because Bert's a person who at lunchtime, if I'm not organised, which as you can see I'm not because I'm busy filming, he won't know what to do for himself for lunch. So therefore he will go down to Kentucky and buy his lunch. So that's okay. He doesn't do it every day, but yes, he loves to do that. I don't. I can't stand the stuff. Ook. But he loves it. Anyway, I'm not one for takeaway food. So that's what you do, and you write down everything you need, and you make sure you get all of it while you're out and about, so you don't have to take extra trips to the supermarket, because extra trips cost you extra money, because fuel at the moment is still $1.78 a litre here, and you know, we're only 2.5 kilometres from the shop, so we're lucky. I'd hate to think if you had to live out of town and you had to travel in. I mean, I couldn't imagine it. I would be doing bulk groceries. So I always have a store cupboard, so we always have extra cereal and extra flour and sugar and things, because with COVID, I got so worried about running out of food that I haven't stopped buying. That I've always got, I shop from my pantry, so when we run out of sugar I grab one from up the top and then I replace the one up the top, and I do that with my dishwashing and my, you know, with everything that we use I have a double of. So, but for the food that you're eating every day, well, of course you can't keep that up, so you have to replace it weekly. So that's what I do. So what I do is I get myself out my coloured textures. These are just from Aldi, but as I've told you before, colour makes me happy. I'm a person that feels better if I've got a bit of colour on, whether it be lipstick, a lovely coloured dress, a beautiful tiara. It just makes me feel happier. So I always write in colour, and then I pick out the colour that I want and I write down what we're going to have for meals. So I'm going to work it out this week. I also have a lunch option for Bert because he usually comes home for lunch, and I have his lunch option so he can work out what he can do, because he gets there and what am I going to have? What am I going to do? You know, and I usually rattle off, well, you can have your, you know, your bacon and eggs, or you can have baked beans on toast, or you can have a sandwich, or you can have a salad sandwich. You know, it's all there and he'll pick from one of those. But this week I'm going to write them in a separate column so he can have a look at that and think, ah, yes, that'd be nice, I'll have that. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So when I'm finished, I'll show you what we've decided. Now we've got Easter. Easter has just been, so we sort of, you know, all of those leftovers are gone now, so have replenishing everything in the fridge. So that's sort of one thing that we do. And anyway, I don't know if it'll help you, but it's what I do. And what I've found, that when I'm not doing it, my food budget goes out the roof, and you have to do it. And I've got a bit slack with the warmer weather and such, and I haven't been doing it for a while, and just it's been a bit of mismatch. But now that we're coming on to the serious time of the year, which for me is the winter, I'll be back into it again. So that's what we're doing. And I'm very, very fortunate because Bert is not fussy. Unlike my sons, they're very fussy. My Richard will not eat leftovers that Michelle cooks, and that's very naughty, Richard, because you survived on leftovers as a child. You just got her hoodwinked. But anyway, so Bert's so easy to cook for. And because I'm such a lazy cook now, I use ways that my mum did, that my grandmother did, that have stuck in my mind from when I was a kid. So Bert loves a chop. So I buy the big lamb 4/4 chops in a packet, and I separate them into 3 or 4 meals for him. He has 2 chops a meal, and I cook them in foil in the oven, and I put Maggi sauce on them, and they are delicious, and I cook them for about 2.5 hours, and he loves them. Best part is, girls, no cleanup, no dishes. It just is wonderful. Quite often I'll pop them in the old Corningware, and pop them in the Pyrex, because, you know, that's all right, but they don't take much to clean, so that's all right. But they're in foil, so they keep all the flavour in. Anyway, so I'm getting down to work out the menu, and then I'll show you what I've come up with. What did you think? I had to go and make myself a coffee. I was absolutely exhausted thinking about all the meals and things I've got to get ready for the next fortnight. But I'm only doing it a week at a time, so I've only done this week for a week. So, and then I'll do another one for another week. And what happens is that as you do this, you find out that you just repeat the same meal. So in 4 weeks, you don't have the same thing 2 nights in a row, but then you do another 4-week cycle. So that's what I did all last year, and you know, it's been really good to sort of pull the budget back in, because food's just going out the roof. And I'm so fussy. I have so much chicken. I just love chicken breast. And unfortunately, I do feed it to my puppy dogs as well, because I don't really like some of the dog food. I just wonder, what are they eating? Eyes, ears, tongues? I don't even want to think about it. So I make sure they have chicken breast in with their meat roll that they have from the high quality pet stock here, and they have that, and I chop it up in my Thermomix, of course, good old Theodora, she strikes again, and they have that, and I have that made up into a container in the fridge, into an old Tupperware container, and they have that. I just top them up with that. They're not ones for biscuits. They never really liked their biscuits much, but I think because Millie's lost so many teeth, whereas Lucy, she likes her biscuits. But anyway, I've come up with a pretty good menu, and it worked out well, and Bert was very happy with what he's eaten through the week, and he just has to go look on the fridge, and it's there, and the days are there, and everything's colour coded, so he should be fine, because men really need to be thrown their food, don't they? I don't know how they survived in the caveman days. When us women had to wait for the men to go and get the food. Oh, look, we would have... No wonder we were all so thin. Must be 12 o'clock already. Goodness, it's time to go and watch the news. Bert and I watch it every day. So anyway, darlings, I hope you've had a good week, and I'm sending lots of love from Country Ballarat. Please like, share, subscribe, and thank you to those people that have bought us a coffee on the Ko-fi link. So that's still up there, and my Instagram's up there. So thank you so much. Lots of love from Tammy and Bert. Cheers.